Hello and welcome back to day 4 of the Kickstart challenge. And today we're going to be looking at your weekly routine, which sometimes I can also include your daily routine. Because what we do each day and each week in our business is what really matters in the long run in terms of building a business that is profitable and that is sustainable and that is in line with the vision that you want to create. So all the work we've done so far has been amazing. But it's almost pointless without this step. If we don't start embedding it into how we're going to be running our business, then it's all just a little bit of a dream, which is great to dream. That's a great place to start with. That's what the vision setting is all about. But now we need to kind of bring it back down to the practical realities of running a jewelry business, which are sometimes fun and exciting and sometimes super boring. And that's okay. We can do all the things and create a kind of really versatile business and working life for ourselves that overall is hopefully deeply satisfying and enjoyable. So how do we bring it into our weekly routine? Well, I want you to have a look at your goals. Think about how are you going to break those down, and especially the action points that we did yesterday. How can we start building those into the time that we have together to build our businesses? So a good place to start is to ask yourself the question, when am I going to be working? What are my working hours? Are you doing this full time? In which case you have lots of time to work with, which is amazing, but we still really need to structure that time so that it doesn't get wasted. Are you fitting this in around the school run perhaps? So you've got like a few hours, well, a few hours each day, but you need to finish early. Or are you working full time and you've got an evening here and a Sunday morning here, or perhaps doing it over the weekends and hybriding, or anything in between? But I think it really helps to have the structure of saying, these are my working hours for my jewelry business. And generally speaking, they're not negotiable. So obviously, if you're unwell, if a child's unwell, whatever, something needs to change and adapt. But generally speaking, it's like, okay, even if I'm tired, these are the hours that I've dedicated to working on my jewelry business. And then within those hours, what time are you spending doing what to kind of reach your goals? So we'll come back to my examples again, just because I think they can be really helpful. So I've put it on the same sheet, just a little bit further down. So I've got my goal, which is to create my 12-piece collection. This is my goal for January to March. Then I've got my action points, so broken it down into the different stages that I'm going to need to do. And then I've got my weekly routine at the bottom. So for my weekly routine, I have put my making time is on Thursdays and Fridays. Each week, I plan to make for the 2 days. Read that very slowly. Each week, I plan to make for the 2 days and get a completed piece each day to add to the fine jewelry collection. After 6 weeks, I will have completed my 12-piece collection. So it's really simple, but essentially I'm saying that I'm in this business, I'm working every day, but I've got quite short days. So that's kind of the structure that I've put in place. So I'm working Monday to Friday, sort of 9 till about 3 o'clock. So I've put aside 2 days a week when I'm going to be making. And I think if you are making every day in your jewelry business and it's not growing, then that might be why, because we do need to put time into the marketing, we need to put time into administration, we need to put time into customer service. So running a jewelry business is not just making. Making is part of it, and it is always going to be an integral part of it, and you can enjoy that part of it. But we do need to make sure that we're putting time aside for running the business as well. And hopefully you can really enjoy both. I know that a lot of people can feel like, oh, I just want to make and I don't want to run a business. But actually, if you can embrace the creative side of running a business, of engaging with your customers, of all the other joys that kind of come with not just making, but other things too, you can enjoy the making, I believe, for even longer because you don't kind of get burnt out with it. And that kind of feel good factor of actually, I'm building this business and I'm making an impact in the world. For me personally, I like to do lots of different tasks throughout the week. I don't want to do the exact same thing every day. So I think that I would encourage you to embrace that diversity in your business and kind of chunk it down into different areas. With that said, On this example, we've got Thursday and Friday as the making days, and I've been really specific about what I'm going to do on that time. Each day, my goal is to make one piece. Now, some days I may make more than one, so some days it may all not go to plan and nothing comes out of it. And I would always give myself a bit of wiggle room. So I've given myself 6 weeks, but actually, I've got 90 days to do this, which is longer than that. So I do have time to make mistakes. I'm also going to be doing some designing days first. But I have kind of boundaried that time and said, this is my making time. And that might be when I turn my phone off, or maybe just have it for creating content that I'm going to use later in my marketing elements. But essentially, I'm saying, okay, this is when I'm doing this. And I try to be fairly strict with myself on the things that I say that I'm going to do, because that builds self esteem in us as well, that we can say, this is what I'm doing, this is when I'm doing it. Then we do it. And then we feel good that, okay, I can stick to something. I can achieve the things that I've set out to do. Then let's have a look at another example. So this was my taking photos and launching my initial website, which is my Q2 goal. So in terms of my weekly routine, I've said Monday and Tuesday are my admin heavy days. So I'll plan to work on the website and photography on those days for at least 1 hour per day until it is completed. The website will go live on or before the 1st of June. So I'm setting myself some deadlines there. So in this example, I'm more chipping away at it. So instead of saying I'm going to spend all day on all of these things, which is perhaps not necessary, I'm going to spend an hour on a Monday and a Tuesday working on my website and my photography. And I'm going to be consistent with that. So you will know yourself the best. You will know how you like to work, whether you like to batch things together so that you get into a zone and you just keep going with that same thing, or whether you like to chip away at things, or perhaps a little bit of both, depending on what it is. You might like to batch things when you're creating, but when you're doing administrative tasks, perhaps it's easier to just do an hour and then walk away. But again, however you like to work is entirely fine and up to you. But the most important thing is that we are saying, this is what I'm going to do, and this is when I'm going to do it, and try and make it as manageable as possible. And we kind of want to feel excited by these action plans, by these weekly routines, and be like, yes, I can't wait to do that. It can be a really nice exercise to get a Google Calendar or something like that and block out the things that are really important to you. So for example, if you are doing school runs, block those out every day. So you know, okay, that time is protected. Then, okay, perhaps instead of the structure that I've suggested, perhaps you're making every afternoon and doing admin in the morning, get it out of the way. So perhaps you've got an hour between 10 and 11 where you're answering emails, perhaps between 11 and 12, you're doing your social posts, then you're going to have some lunch. And after that, you're going to be making for the rest of the afternoon. But it can be really nice to kind of block it out in different colors on a calendar and say, okay, this is my structure. And it's okay to break it. It's okay to be flexible. It's okay to, be like, today I just need to not work and go for a really long walk, whatever you need. But it really helps to have that initial structure. And the great thing about this exercise and what we've been doing all week, which is amazing, is that it's not just random. We've not just said, I'm going to do this here and do that there. We said, this is our vision. This is what we want. This is the goal we're trying to create. And then from there, we said, okay, we're going to do these 4 manageable areas in the business this year. And then we said, what do we need to do under each of those areas? And now we're saying, let's embed that into the way that we do life. So good luck today. My task for you today is to take everything we've done and chunk out some time. You don't need to be specific about exactly which task you're going to do, but like I've done in the examples, say, what day of the week, what times, what hours are you going to be focused on what different things to be able to achieve the things that you want to do in your jewelry business this year? As always, you can share some screenshots and come and share them with us. We would love to see your progress inside the Facebook group, on Instagram, all the places. I love cheering you on with these tasks, and it helps me as well to see what everyone is doing. And I will see you back here tomorrow for the 5th and final day of the challenge. We'll be looking at money and finances in a light and gentle and easy way in our business. And of course, we are coming to the end of the challenge, and the Jewelry Business Academy has already started. So if you're enjoying this challenge and you feel like you'd really like to work further and do a lot more this year, and have support to be able to work through these goals and to be able to understand exactly what tasks you might need to do to achieve what you're trying to achieve, then do come and join us in the Joy Business Academy. Like I said, it is a full year-long program. We work together every month. We have monthly group calls together where you'll be part of a community of other people growing and thriving in their joy businesses, so you can learn from each other. You'll also be assigned an individual mentor who you have one-to-one mentoring on a topic of your choice to help grow your jewelry business. And of course, you'll be working with me throughout the year. There's lots of content videos like the ones here, but they are professionally filmed. This one is done on my phone, just as a little side note. So it's, it's a wonderful program. We're very excited and we look forward to seeing a lot of you guys in there as well after this course to help with the development and the growth, because it's a daily task running a jewelry business. It's not something you just set and leave. It's something that we're always working on. And there are challenges that come up, and it really does help to have that network and that support and that training in place as well. So I will let you get on with today's tasks, and thank you so much for being here and taking part in the challenge. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the final day where we bring some money into the business. Very exciting. All right, until then, bye for now.